evening, everybody. Welcome to Brumana High School. It gives me great pleasure to introduce His Excellency the Prime Minister, Dr. Hassan Diab, represented this evening by Mr. Talal Hawat, who is the Minister of Telecommunications, and who tells me is the person who approved the stamp. So I think we should give him a big round of applause.
First, it's a great pleasure for me to be here to represent the Prime Minister, Dr. Hassan Diab. To be honest, he called me personally. Usually when we represent him, we get called from the protocol at the Sarai to tell us officially that we are here to present him. In this case, he called me personally in the evening and he said, I have a special mission to give you that is dear to my heart, and I'm not just saying it, it happened. And I told him what it is. He said there will be a ceremony. We believe that they're gonna invite you as a telecom minister who approved this stamp, but yet I want you to be there because this school is so dear to my heart. I said, okay, no problem, we'll do it. And he said, he started telling me about what this school means to him, how close to its heart it is. He told me that I think he joined the school at the 3rd grade, and then he left at the 10th grade, or maybe the 2nd grade, and he left at the 10th grade. He said he spent here 7 to 8 years. And these 8 years were, I believe, the memorable years for him during his elementary, and high school. He said he left at the 10th grade, he left here and he went to London. And then he was bragging how good the school is. He told me the school was so good and was so great that when I went there, instead of taking me 3 years to go to college, it took him 1 year. He was able to pass on the 3 years in 1 year to move forward and go to college. Obviously, he said it shows because the school standards were very high. They are international standards, and they were above and beyond what other schools around, even in London, has offered their students at 10th grade. So then he went on to say that, Brumana High School, it's so dear to me. I wish I can go to be here during this ceremony. And he said, ensure in your speech to write something to show how meaningful and how honorable for me to be at Brumana High School. Again, it's a dear school to his heart. He loves it a lot. He brags at it a lot. We always hear that, I went to Brumana High School, I went to Brumana High School. So I am happy finally to meet you all and to see this high school, great high school, that has been for a decade and a half, actually. It's like 150 years, I believe. So this is the English part. Now I wrote something in Arabic. If you would like me to read it, I can. Pretty much it's what I said in English, but the English was brief. So feel free, I can stop here. I can read it. It's up to you. So I will read it in Arabic if I have. أيها الحفل الكريم، شرفني دولة رئيس مجلس الوزراء الدكتور حسان دياب بتمثيله في هذا اللقاء العابق بالذكريات، والمعطر بحضور أمثالكم من قامات فكرية وتربوية، وفي ظلال صرح تربوي شامخ لطالما اطلع بدور كبير في الحركة التربوية في لبنان والعالم العربي على امتداد قرن ونصف. ومن قبل أن يولد لبنان الكبير ولدت برمانا هاي سكول في زمن خيمت فيه الظلمة على الشرق، فكانت هذه المدرسة إحدى المنائر التي نفذ منها شعاع المعرفة ونور العلم إلى كل لبنان. ومما لا شك فيه أن للرئيس الدكتور حسان دياب مع هذا الصرح التربوي ذكريات عطرة. كيف لا وهو الذي تربى في كنفه وترعرع بين جدرانه حتى أنهى دراسة الصف العاشر، لينتقل بعدها إلى لندن ويكون هناك طالبا متميزا يشار إليه بالبنان، وما ذلك إلا لمتانة منهج هذه المدرسة ومواكبته الدائمة لروح العصر والحداثة. وما ذلك بغريب على هذه المدرسة لطالما خرجت شخصيات كانت لها بصماتها في تاريخ لبنان الحديث والمعاصر على الصعد شتى. أيها الحفل الكريم، انطلاقا من الماضي العريق والحاضر المتألق والمستقبل الواعد لمدرسة برمانة هاي سكول، كان حريا بنا كوزارة للاتصالات، ولأننا نؤمن بتكريم العلم وصروحه وبناته، أن نصدر طابعا بريديا يخلد إنجازات المدرسة ويضيء على بعض تاريخها، على ذلك أن يكون حافزا لبقية المؤسسات التربوية لتحذو حذوها بما ينعكس إيجابيا على العملية التربوية في لبنان. أيها الحفل الكريم، أفراد الهيئة التربوية والإدارية في برمانة هاي سكول، لكم منا فعلا كل التقدير يا حاملي الإرث التربوي المجيد والأمناء على مجد يرقى له لقرن ونصف من الزمان. اسمحوا لنا أن نقدم هذه المبادرة المتواضعة بإصدارنا طابعا بريديا يلخص في صورة صغيرة سيرة ومسيرة صرح تربوي لا يرضى إلا أن يعانق السماء طاربا جذوره في الأرض التي أحب. لتكن هذه المبادرة شرف لنا ووساما على صدورنا وباكورة على مسيرة تكريم المؤسسات التربوية الرائدة التي تؤمن بلبنان وطنا وببناء الإنسان غاية قصوى. عشتم، عاشت التربية، عاشت مدرسة برمانة هاي سكول، وعاش لبنان. مثل ما شفتوا الكلمة كتير صغيرة وحاولت لخص اللي قال لي اياه دولة الرئيس بس لوصلكم اياه، وبتمنى لكم التوفيق. أول 150 سنة كانوا نجاح وتخرجت شخصيات مهمة من المدرسة، ونتمنى لكم التوفيق الدائم، وإن شاء الله أنتم على طول بتضلوا المعيار اللي المدارس في لبنان وفي العالم تطلع لتكون منه. In English, we wish you all the best. You've been in this message for the past 150 years. You've been an example in Lebanon, in the region, and in the world. We wish you always success. We hope you will always excel and succeed in your future, and you will always be the school to look up for in Lebanon, in Middle East, and all around the world. Thank you.
Mr. Hawat, thank you very much for your kind words and for approving the stamp. Unfortunately, our Chairman of Governors, Mr. Hani Abu Jabin, is unable to be with us today as he is unwell. He has, however, written a couple of paragraphs that Mr. Raymond Fagali, the bursar, is going to read out for us in honour of this very special occasion.
And good evening, everybody. I would like to say welcome on behalf of the chairman of the board who couldn't come. His words are, friends, welcome to Brumana High School. We are honored to have the minister, Mr. Hawat, representing the Prime Minister, Dr. Diab, who is an old scholar of BHS, on the occasion of LibanPost launching a postal stamp of Brumana High School. It is with great pride and joy as we are nearing our 150th anniversary to say that we are still a beacon of lighting in these dark days and confused times. As always, we pride ourselves in being educators and not just teachers. where we adhere to our Quaker principles of honesty, transparency, and peaceful coexistence, regardless of religion, politics, or affluence. So many of our students have become political and financial leaders in the Middle East and are highly respected. I believe the Middle East will only rise if BHS's principles will be adhered to. On behalf of Paul High, the chairman of Quiet, which is the trust that owns the school license, and myself, the chairman of the board, I would like to extend our gratitude to indefatigable efforts of the principal David Gray and the bursar Raymond Ferrari for their hard work, and because they went beyond the call of duty day and night, including weekends, with the assistance of their loyal staff. On this occasion, I would like to thank the art department in producing the beautiful staff. Message of the chairman.
Well, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here this evening. You're standing in the meeting house of Brumana High School. I've been in meeting houses like this all over Europe. They're very standard, they're very traditional, and they represent the place of worship for the body of Quakers who founded this school and whose principles of individuality, there is a little bit of God in everyone, respect for others, and tolerance are the values which we practice at this school and which turned out so many memorable figures in the world of politics and of the professions, and who have gone on to have great careers and led their families, their communities, and indeed their countries. And the current Prime Minister, His Excellency Dr. Hassan Diab, is an example of that. And I may say that our chairman of the governing body, Hani Abu Jabin, is also an example of that, as an old scholar himself. There is a saying in English, "From little acorns, great oak trees grow." And how true that has been of Brumana High School. Imagine when they first had the idea of building a school and a hospital here in Brumana about 150 years ago. Would they have imagined that one day it would have turned out all the great figures it has, and that one day it would be immortalized in a stamp? This is a great honor for a school, to have its own stamp and first day cover, which will travel all over the world and attract attention, as Brumana High School should do, for its longevity and its great reputation. I would particularly like to thank two people, Meia Bechara, who is the head of art at Brumana High School, who painted the stamp, which you will see shortly, and also one of her students, Marina El Helou, who painted the first day cover. And I think we should perhaps all join in and applaud their efforts, because without them, I hope that this will be just the first 150 years of Brumana High School, and that the stamp will be a fortunate symbol of Brumana's future for the next 150 years. Thank you very much indeed. I think we're... I'd now like to invite Mr. Ronnie Risha, the representative of LibanPost, to whom we're also very grateful for having agreed to produce this stamp for us, and he will speak.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I was really honored to represent our chairman, Mr. Khalid Dawood, in this unveiling event, and honored also to be next to His Excellency the Prime Minister, the Minister representing His Excellency Prime Minister, as well as all the dear persons here present from the school. And I would like to say that usually a stamp immortalizes an achievement, immortalizes a personality, and what more than a great school than Brumana High School to be immortalized in a stamp. And we look forward to see more achievements and more good generations like our Prime Minister to come and and build our new Lebanon. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Risha, for your kind words and for the support of LibanPost. I'd now like to introduce Mrs. Bechara, who designed and painted the stamp, and she'll say a few words.
His Excellency Prime Minister Mr. Diab, represented by His Excellency Minister Talal Hawat, Principal Mr. Gray, friends of the school. I would like to thank you all for contributing to this event and make it possible, and I'm really very proud to be part of it. When I was contacted by Mr. Gray to organize a competition between the students to create a stamp for Bechara High School, I was a bit worried about the outcome since I realized that this was such a grand project. I worked with my students for 2 weeks in order to create the best stamp and first day cover. Despite the best efforts of the students for the stamp, and we have a great IGCSE program at BHS, our stamp committee felt they weren't quite right for this type of specific design. And from the students' design, we were able to select an excellent one for the first day cover. The committee then asked if I would like to design something for the stamp. I have to admit I was a bit scared, because not only am I representing the school in a drawing, but also 147 years of history in education, and it's an institution so well known and respected in the country and region. And I had only a few days to do it. And here I want to say a big thank you to Mr. H.E, who took the time to go around the school and shoot many pictures and send them to me. Fortunately, the weather was beautiful and the colors of the pictures were very inspiring for my palette. After many attempts, I ended up with 3 drawings that I liked. One of the school gate, the one that you see here actually, one of the old belt at the entrance of the library building, and the third one was the mother tree. I was leaning towards the school gate because, and as always I tell my students, the first step to a successful art project is the story behind it and the idea it must convey. So why the gate? Well, it is the first thing we all see when we enter BHS. It is the student's first step towards a bright future in education, experiences and friendships. It is also a gateway to new opportunities. The gate, the trees and the buildings behind them are also familiar to all BHS members, students, staff and all scholars in Lebanon and around the world. So it is an image that will certainly travel far, carrying memories and good moments, reminding us where it all started. I am really very proud to be part of that project, and I really hope that I was able to communicate with that tiny drawing all what Bechara High School represents to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Meia, for those inspiring words. And I would now like to ask our artist, our student artist, Marina El Helou, to come and address us.
So, I chose to work on this picture for this project because it includes the heart of the school, which is the mother tree, that has been a part of the school for many generations and is very important to many. This picture also has the MTV and L buildings on the sides. I, as many artists do, sketched out the picture onto a cardboard paper with pencil. Then I painted in the sketch with watercolor, and for the extra details I used colored pencils. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marina. I'm sure that you will always remember this occasion, and indeed the fact that your artwork has been immortalised in the first day cover. And I hope that you will go on to have a very happy and successful career, maybe as an artist, but who knows what the future holds. Now, the next item on the programme says that we're going to unveil the stamp and first day cover. Well, we're not, because we don't have an unveiling to do, but you can come and have a look at it shortly. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to give you all, and we'll do that now, we'll circulate, we're going to give you all a first day cover and a stamp for you to take away with you. and I hope that you will enjoy that. And if you're a philatelist, that is a person who collects stamps, for if you didn't know, then you will be particularly pleased, I think. Because this stamp and these covers will be here perhaps in several hundred years' time, perhaps longer. So they're being circulated now. Please take one. I hope you'll enjoy looking at it. And those of you who are old scholars may even decide to put it in a frame and stick it on your wall in the living room. We shall see. Thank you very much for coming today. I hope that you will enjoy refreshments with us. It's sad in a way that this event has had to be restricted in numbers because it's a very special event. However, we do intend to have a larger event later in the year, and I hope that you and many others will be able to attend that once the cloud of COVID-19 has disappeared. Thank you.
Thank you.